Friends, seekers of truth, those who yearn for a deeper understanding of this life, let us together this morning consider something that may seem simple, perhaps even commonplace, yet holds a profound power within it, the power of gratitude. We've explored in our time together the intricate complexities of the mind, the conditioned patterns that govern our actions, the unending cycle of problems we seem to perpetually create. But today, let us turn our gaze toward a different landscape, a landscape cultivated by a simple act, the act of being truly grateful. Before we delve into this, let's, as always, attempt to approach this exploration from a place that is not fragmented. We often see life through the lens of our individual concerns, our personal needs, our specific problems. Yet life is not a collection of disparate parts, but a unified whole. Our challenges, our joys, our fears, they're all interconnected, woven together in the tapestry of existence. Can we then, for a moment, set aside our individual concerns and consider this question of gratitude from a holistic view, from a place of integration? Are we meeting each other here in this spirit of inquiry? Most of us are fragmented. Our lives are divided into separate compartments of work, family, social, and religious lives. Rarely do we approach anything with a whole integrated awareness. We have adopted particular viewpoints, conclusions, and idealist concepts, all of which fragment our perceptions of life. So, can we consider this question of gratitude from a place that is whole? Now, why do we find it so difficult to access a state of simple gratitude? We find ourselves in a world that is increasingly complex, a society filled with so many wants, so many needs, a world that seems to constantly demand more. And in our quest to satisfy those demands, we often forget the gifts that are already present. It's as if our minds are so fixated on what we lack that we become blind to what we already possess. We are constantly seeking, endlessly striving, conditioned from a very young age to approach life with the desire to acquire something more, to constantly seek a solution to the problems that life throws at us, a conditioned response that keeps us from a state of peaceful appreciation. Let's look at this together. From the time we are very young in school, we are taught to solve problems. The brain, so naturally receptive, begins to identify with this process of seeking solutions. There are mathematical problems, reading, writing, all are seen as problems to be solved. We go to college and more problems arise, the university, jobs and careers, the demands of life. Always there is a problem, and the brain, conditioned, seeks for a solution rather than understanding the problem itself. And with a brain so conditioned, that brain is not capable of a truly deep and genuine gratitude. Our brains are full of problems, aren't they? And we, from that brain, seek solutions, creating more problems along the way. And how can the brain, so entangled in the act of seeking, ever truly know the peace that gratitude brings? Our brains are conditioned to solve problems, not to understand their depths. Is it not true that in the understanding of the problem, the solution already lies there, within? We see this in many areas of our lives. We have never truly stopped the wars. Despite our attempts and organizations, we simply learn to kill more efficiently. We never solve the issue of relationship, but seek to change the faces in it. We never solve the problem, but simply address the symptoms, never the core. And so, we ask, is it possible to have a brain that is not conditioned to solve problems, but simply understands? Is there a difference between solving a problem and understanding it? So, can the brain, recognizing its conditioning to solve problems from the earliest of our lives, be free of it? To approach life with a mind free of the constant desire to fix things, to solve them? The very act of seeking a solution to our lack of gratitude may only lead to further complications, further frustration, further separation from the very essence of gratitude. It is not an answer to be found, but a state of being. So, how do we then cultivate the art of living, the art of being grateful? Is it an art to be learned, a skill to be mastered? Or is it something that emerges naturally when the mind is quiet, when the heart is open? Surely, the art of living is to live with awareness, to be fully present, free of conflict, self concern. It is in this presence that gratitude begins to flower. A brain in constant conflict, always seeking, always comparing, is a limited brain. As long as there is self-concern, there will be conflict. It is in this conflict that we lose the capacity for genuine gratitude. So, perhaps the first step in cultivating gratitude is to see the conflict that pervades our lives, the inner division, the contradictions within. For gratitude is not an emotion, is not an aspiration, but a state of being. It is the awareness of the present moment, a recognition of the gift of existence, a quiet appreciation of all that is. To be truly grateful is to be present with our life. It is not about thinking happy thoughts or forcing ourselves to see the positive side. It is about seeing the wholeness of our lives, the joy and the sorrow, the light and the shadow, with an open heart. It is a recognition that every experience, even the difficult ones, are a part of our journey, a part of this life. Now, you may be thinking, well, this is all very nice, but how does one do this in the face of the very real problems, the very real challenges of our daily lives? How does one be grateful when facing illness, financial hardship, relationship conflict, the many sorrows that are a part of this world? That is the very point. Gratitude is not about denying the existence of suffering, but about seeing it within the larger context of life itself. It is not a feeling to be manufactured, but an awareness to be cultivated. It is a shift in perspective, a turning of the gaze from what we lack to what we already possess. We are often so caught up in the problems, in the chaos of it all, that we forget the simple beauty of life. The gentle breeze upon your skin, the warmth of the sun, the sounds of nature, the love that connects us. These are gifts that are always available, always present, and we are blind to them. So we ask, what is this life? What is this life? What is the creation behind all of this? It is not to be answered simply or verbally or in a formula. It is to be experienced, lived. Is it not true that what gives life to a blade of grass in the concrete is the same that gives life to us? When we understand this life, this creation as a mystery, not a problem, we come closer to the source. What makes you listen to these words right now? What is your motive? What is your desire? Desire sensation that is processed through thought into an image, and then the need arises and the brain begins seeking. The brain is muddled by environment, by tradition, and by society. So we ask, what is the origin of this life? Are you waiting for me to describe it, to give you the answer? It is a subject far too serious to play with. The origin is nameless and it is quiet. It is not making noise or seeking something outside itself. It is within you. It is holy. And if you are not living your life fully, now is the time to change that. So, what is the power of gratitude in cultivating inner peace? It is in the recognition that the present moment, this moment, is all that we have. It is not that we don't strive for a better future, but that we live fully in the present with a quiet appreciation for all that is, understanding that every moment is a gift, and in that understanding, inner peace naturally arises. It is not to be sought, it is simply there. It is a state of being, not a feeling to be cultivated. So let us go forward with this understanding, with this quiet awareness of our lives and the great gift that they are, and see how gratitude naturally unfolds, not as an effort, but as a quiet acceptance of all that is. So let us, for the moment, sit quietly together.